So like, I have no beef with Sam. I think, from my interactions with him, he's done nothing but be high integrity and kind to me, and a really nice guy, really supportive person. Um, I've read all the same stuff you've read, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that the focus on Sam the person obscures the structural problems that need to get fixed, not just for OpenAI, but for all of these companies. I feel like AI governance is one of those critically important things that's probably as important as getting the technology right if we want to see this technology be used in beneficial ways down the road. So yeah, I would rather the focus be, rather than on Sam v. Elon, which I know drives a lot of clicks, I get it, but I would much rather the focus be on what is the appropriate governance structure? Who should have insight? Who should have control over these models? And I personally am a believer that we should have the equivalent of a sovereign wealth fund, like the Alaska Permanent Fund that oversees oil wealth in Alaska, or the Norway fund. Like, that is a common structure that you use industry-wide when you have a natural resource explosion like this. I would love to see, in exchange for all these regulations that the AI companies want waived for them, including, by the way, like training on all copyrighted material without compensating the authors. Hey, I'm an author. I'm in the training set. Like, I always tell people, if you think being in the training set is bad, you should try being excluded from the training set. Okay, that's even worse. So like, everyone's in a no-win situation right now. It'd be so much smarter if we had what's called compulsory licensing, meaning we just establish the rule that they're allowed to train on everything, but some of the profits that get made from that have to be contributed back to the people who contributed all that cultural worth. And what's so crazy about LLMs is, like, yes, they were trained on all the greatest works of literature that have ever been written, but there's also been trained on every mean tweet, every Reddit post, every like random scrap of cultural output is in there. So like, to me, this is like, humanity itself created this technology as a collective act. The people who did the matrix multiplication, of course, played an important role. I didn't mean to say they did nothing. But like, the raw material required the silicon chips, it required the RLHF people working in Africa and in other low-wage countries, and it required all this cultural output. To me, it's the most obvious thing in the world that we should have a shared governance structure that includes broadly shared prosperity. Justin Rosenstein, the former co-founder of Asana, has an op-ed the other day in Fortune magazine about democratic councils that could oversee AI. Like, there's a bunch of proposals floating around. I wish that was getting like 1/10 the social media and TV time that Sam v. Elon was getting personally.
I've been building a lot of AI products lately. My job search OS has 16 different agents. My newsletter has a recommendation engine, and I kept running into the same problem. I'd ship something, it would work in my testing, and then I'd get messages from users saying it's hallucinating or picking the wrong tool. The issue wasn't the prompts or the tools, it was that I wasn't actually evaluating anything. I didn't have a way to see what my agent was actually doing step by step. Every tool call, every decision. That's where a Ries comes in. Let me show you. I'm going to open Claude Code and install a Ries with just one command. npx skills, add a Ries AI, a Ries skills, skill yes. Now Claude Code already knows how to instrument my agent. I tell it set up tracing to a Ries, and it automatically analyzes my code base, figures out where the LLM and tool calls are, and adds instrumentation automatically. Now I can see everything, every trace, every span, every decision. And more importantly, I can evaluate it. That's the shift. Trace what's happening, evaluate where it fails, then fix it. This trace right here, my resume feedback agent was supposed to pull the company's tech stack from the job posting, but instead it hallucinated that they use React when the posting said Python. But instead it hallucinated that they use React when the posting said Python. I never would have caught that without seeing the trace. And here's the part that blew my mind. I asked Claude Code to look at these traces and tell me what I should be evaluating. It came back with 4 eval criteria I hadn't written. Things like picking the right tool and staying grounded in the input. I wrote the evals, ran them, and found that my agent was making the same kind of mistake about 12% of the time. Claude pushed to fix, I reran the evals, and it dropped to under 2%. That whole loop, trace, evaluate, fix, took me about 20 minutes, and now it runs automatically. If you're building AI products and not evaluating them, you're shipping blind. Try a Rise free at arise.com and get a year free, a $1,260 value with my bundle, Arise. Check it out. It's one of the top AI evals platforms used by all of the top AI teams for a reason. I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.